Yesterday, Sayadaw explained that people who have thick defilements, who have thick layers of kilesa defilements, are omataka, mad person. First, they are intoxicated by kilesa, and the more they become intoxicated, they become crazy and mad, and they become daredevil. So, if they do not control their mind systematically, if they don't have control over themselves, their mind becomes perturbed and agitated, and they end up having mental illness. So the person who is afflicted with mental illness is called omata or omataka, a mad person, a crazy person. So usually the people who are mad, they become mentally ill, mostly because of spiritual disorder, mental disorder. So lack of control of the mind, they become mad. And yesterday Sayadaw said there are 8 kinds of mad people, 8 kinds of madness. The first one is kamomatako lobhavasangato. The one who indulges in greed is called kamomataka, mad with lust or greed. So the person who has extreme kind of lust doesn't see any flaws in the sensual pleasure, so she will leave his or her mind free on the sensual pleasure without any control. So indulging in the greed and lust, she becomes kamomataka, mad with lust and greed. And the second one is kodomataka. Kodomataka, in the text it is explained, kodomatako dosavasangato. The person who indulges in hatred, aversion, anger is called kodomataka, mad or crazy with hatred, aversion, anger. So the people who have anger, hatred, aversion, grudge, not only ordinary, but when this grudge, hatred and aversion become extreme, they become mad, they become crazy. So usually people who bear intense grudge, they become mad because they indulge in anger, hatred, aversion. That's why she is called kodomataka, which means she is mad with anger, aversion, hatred. And the third one is detomataka. This detomataka comes in third. So it is said that detomatako vipassana. It means that a person who is mad with wrong view indulges in perversion. So the ones who have wrong beliefs, when their wrong beliefs become extreme, they become mad. So the person who indulges in vipassana, perversion, they become mad. So vipassana means perversion or deviating from the truth. So if they are deviated from right view, and if they take wrong view, then they become detomataka, they become mad with wrong view. And especially the ones who believe in materialism, they become mad with a wrong view. And some people, they have this wrong view of Uccedadeti, annihilation belief. They have the wrong belief that a being consists of 4 kinds of elements, and in the food there is nutrition that can produce life or soul, and also there is nutrition that can produce blood, excrement, individual soul, and the food can produce individual soul and the 4 elements. So in the food that is taken daily, in the daily food, they believe that there is some kind of nutriment or nutrition that produce blood, flesh, soul, mind, and the life is consists of this blood, flesh, soul, and so on. And they believe that when a person dies, the 4 elements gather up somewhere, and then the atta or the soul comes to an end. So this is the belief of Uccedadeti, annihilation belief. So the people who believe in Uccedadeti, they do not believe that wholesome deeds will bring good results and unwholesome deeds will bring bad results. And they do not believe in paying respect to the parents and the teachers. They have the wrong view that there is no gratitude, no need to thank the parents, because we are born as a product of their own love affair, so we don't need to thank the parents. So they have the wrong view. And these people who have wrong view, their view are deviated from the correct view. And they do not believe in nama rupa, they do not believe in mind and matter. Even though some believe in mind and matter, nama rupa, they believe that there is jiva atta, individual soul, and this individual soul, jiva atta, is created by Mahabrahma, creator. So their view is deviated from the truth of this cause and relation, the conditioned phenomena which are arising as cause and effect. But the ones who have wrong view are deviated from the right view. And even though things are impermanent, they think of it as permanent. Even though there is suffering, they think of it as good. So their view becomes deviated or perverted from right view. So when they have a lot of perversion, then the way they believe is not straight or not correct, and thus they become deviated from this correct view, and they become Ditto Madaka, mad with wrong view. There are 3 kinds of Vipassana, 3 kinds of perversion. The first one is Sanya Vipassana, perversion of perception. And the second one, Citta Vipassana, perversion of knowledge. And Ditthi Vipassana, perversion of view. So the perversion of perception is given in the example. In a farm, there is scarecrow. The scarecrow that is used to scare the sparrows and crows that will come and eat the paddy. So thinking that a scarecrow is a human, it is sanya vipallasa, perversion of perception, thinking of a scarecrow as a human. It also consists of citta vipallasa, knowing that the scarecrow is a human. So in the case of thinking the scarecrow as a human, it involves two of the vipallasa, sanya vipallasa, perversion of perception, and citta vipallasa, perversion of this consciousness. So, ditthi vipallasa is the perversion of wrong view. And usually, the people who believe in atta, so they have this ditthi vipallasa, perversion of view. So concerning with atta, they have their text saying that jnanadikarana, atta is where the knowledge and the consciousness is situated. So they believe that the knowledge and the consciousness are situated in this atta, the soul. So they believe that the mentality are all consisted in atta, soul. And they believe in two kinds of soul. The first one is jiva atta, individual soul. They believe that this individual soul is living and being. And the second type they believe is parama atta, supreme soul. They believe that this supreme soul is creating the individual soul. So in this way, they believe in two kinds of atta, two kinds of soul, the individual soul and the supreme soul. So in their text, they define this Parama Atta, Mahabrahma, as Esaro. Esaro means this Mahabrahma is governing, controlling the whole world. The whole world is created by Mahabrahma. Both animate and inanimate things are created by Mahabrahma. So in this way, people have high esteem of this Mahabrahma, and also Mahabrahma itself have high esteem of himself. And this Mahabrahma is said to be Satanyu, the knower of everything. They believe that this Mahabrahma knows everything that is to be known. And Eko, they believe that there is one and only Supreme Soul. And Sukha Dukkha Rahito, they believe that this Supreme Soul is neither happy, comfortable, nor discomfortable or suffer. So that's what they think of this Mahabrahma, the Supreme Soul. And they also believe that this Mahabrahma has no definite form or shape. So in this way, the way they believe about this Mahabrahma is not so definite, or it's very vague, a very vague description of the Mahabrahma. So they define this Mahabrahma as Esara, Sabanyu, Eko, Sukha Dukkha Rahito, and so on. So these are the defining words they have for this Mahabrahma. So the people who believe in Jiva Atta, individual soul, they believe that this individual soul is situated in beings, the body of the being. And they believe that this individual soul is created by Mahabrahma, the Supreme Soul. So they believe every being is created by Mahabrahma, Supreme Soul. And they also believe that green trees have life. So they take that green trees are living beings which have one faculty. And they know there are different various individual souls. So the soul of a big animal will be big. The soul of a small being will be small. For example, the soul of an elephant will be big, and the soul of an ant will be small. So in this way, they believe that these individual souls are different. And Vibhu, they believe that this individual soul has control or governing in itself, like seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, knowing, is done by the Jiva Atta, the individual soul. So they think that Jiva Atta, individual soul, is doing everything, seeing, hearing, tasting, touching, moving, and so on. So they believe that this Jiva Atta has the control of the seeing, hearing, and this Jiva Atta, individual soul, is controlled by the Mahabrahma, the Supreme Soul. So the Jiva Atta, individual soul, has to do under the control of Mahabrahma. If the Mahabrahma wants them die, they die. If the Mahabrahma wants them to live, they have to live. So that's the way they believe. And nature, they believe that this individual soul is permanent. And they also believe that if a person dies, the soul of that person will move on to another body. So that's how they have wrong view about this Jiva Atta, individual soul. When Buddha came into existence, Buddha denied of this wrong view of Atta. And Buddha denied that there is no Parama Atta, Supreme Soul, or the Jiva Atta, the individual soul. And what Buddha taught is Anatta, non-self or non-soul. So if there is no soul, then what is there? There is Nama, Rupa, mind and matter. So Nama, mind can cognize or know, and Rupa cannot cognize or know. So there is only Nama, Rupa. And there is Dhamma. Dhamma, which is Sabhava or the nature. There are nature, pure nature, impure nature, and neutral nature. So just as food has a different taste of sweet, sour, spicy, pungent, salty, and so on, each and every phenomena has their own nature or characteristic. For example, Rupa, materiality, has the characteristic of changing or deviating, perverting, and Nama has the characteristic of inclining or knowing. And also there are each and every of the Rupa has their own individual characteristic. For example, Paṭhavi Dhatu, the earth element, has the characteristic of hardness. And also there are other materiality, other rupa, which has the characteristic of warmth, heat, cold, lightness, heaviness, stiffness, tension, movement. So just as food has taste, just as food has different tastes in themselves, in the same way, this nama rupa have their own individual characteristic or nature. So in every nama rupa, they have this sabhava nature, they have their own intrinsic nature, just as the food has its own taste. So sabhava is made up of sa and bhava. Sa means individual, each or unique, and bhava means what exists. So what exists in this nama rupa is sabhava, the nature or the characteristics. And all these natures arise and pass away. They do not stay the same. These natures do not stay the same. They arises and passes away. They are not permanent. They are not permanent. Because they are not permanent, they are suffering. And there is no atta or soul involved in these natures. So in the nama rupa itself, in the mind and matter itself, there is no atta, there is no soul. What really is there is the sabhava nature. So nama rupa have their own intrinsic nature. So this nama rupa has characteristics, unique or individual characteristics, and they also have common characteristics. So this is what is taught by Buddha. So these nama rupa, mind and matter, are impermanent, suffering, and non-self. So even though these nama rupa are impermanent, suffering, and non-self, these people take it as permanent, good, and they also take that things happen according to their own wish. So this is wrong view. And having this wrong view is vipallasa, perversion. There is perversion. So having wrong view, there is perversion of view, thinking that it is permanent, good, and self. So having this wrong view over this nama rupa, having wrong view that this nama rupa, mind and matter, are being, a person or being, so they have the wrong view that it is a person or being, but actually it is there is no being or no person, but there is only nama rupa, mind and matter. And some people believe in causeless view, having the view that there is no cause, things are happening without cause. So again, this is perversion of view. And believing in the Mahabrahma creating, it is also perversion of view. Actually, the nama rupa phenomena, they are arising, they are relating to each other as cause and effect. There is nothing on earth which can arise without any cause. So believing that nama rupa are arising as cause and effect, and believing that everything has its own cause, nothing arises without the cause, believing thus the wrong view, believing in Mahabrahma, will be overcome. So there is nothing that the Mahabrahma can create. So knowing correctly this ditthi, wrong view, will be overcome. Having wrong view about Mahabrahma creating, it is ditthi, vipallasa, perversion of wrong view, perversion of view. Having this wrong view that there is creator, they try in every way they can so that they will be liked by this creator. They try everything so that they will be blessed by the creator. So in order to be blessed by the creator, they make wishes, they pray and make wishes so that they will be blessed by the creator. So they even kill animals in order to sacrifice them, in order to please their God or their creator. So this is vipallasa. If they are not standing on the correct view, if they do not stand on the correct view, there will be vipallasa, perversion. They will be perverted, they will have perversion, their view are deviated from the right view. So this sanya vipallasa, ditthi vipallasa, perversion of perception, perversion of view will take place. And thus they become mad with wrong view. And they are called dittu madaka, mad with wrong view. In order to cure this madness, Satipatthana meditation has a guarantee. So Satipatthana meditation is guaranteed to cure the madness. So one should be mindful on the presently arising object. In order to note the presently arising object, one should put effort. Having effort, there will be mindfulness. Mindfulness will develop and the mind will fall calm and collected on the object. So when the noting mind falls calm and collected on the object, one will come to know the true nature. By knowing the true nature of the object, yogi can overcome this wrong view of jiva atta, the individual soul. And through practice, by understanding that things are happening due to the cause, so when the yogi understands the cause and effect relationship, this yogi will overcome the wrong view of Mahabrahma, Supreme Soul, creating the being. So in this way, when the yogi has this knowledge into nama rupa and cause and effect, the yogi will overcome the view of atta, the individual soul and the Supreme Soul momentarily. So at this stage of insight into nama rupa and cause and effect, this wrong view of atta is overcome momentarily. In order to overcome this wrong view of atta permanently, one should attain Sotapanna, one should attain the first path and fruition knowledge in order to overcome the wrong view of atta permanently. So when the yogi goes on to note, when the yogi goes further with the practice, then when the yogi sees the dissolution of the nama rupa phenomena, when the yogi sees the arising of new and new nama rupa phenomena, she overcomes the Utteda Ditthi, annihilation belief. And when the yogi sees the dissolution of the object, then she overcomes the Sassata Deity, the eternity belief, the wrong view that even though the person dies, the Atta will move on to the next body, next life. In this way, the Atta is permanent and so on. So this view of Sassata Deity, eternity view, eternity belief will be overcome when the yogi realizes the dissolution of the object. So in this way, when the yogi sees the arising of the new and new object, she overcomes Ucceda Ditti, annihilation belief. When the yogi sees the dissolution of the object, she overcomes Sassata Ditti, eternity belief. So when the yogi has got to the stage of insight into fast arising and passing away of the Nama Rupa phenomena, then the yogi overcomes this Ucceda Ditti, annihilation belief, and Sassata Ditti, eternity belief, momentarily. But in order to overcome these wrong views totally, one needs to become a Sotapanna. So what it means that whatever happens at the sixth sense door are arising as cause and effect. They are relating to each other as cause and effect, and they are arising continuously just like a current. So when the yogi, in order to see the cause and effect, and in order to see the relation of this relative cause giving rise to relative effect, one needs to observe at the moment of arising of the object. In order to observe at the moment of arising, one needs to put effort. So if one doesn't put effort, the mind will not be collected. The mind will not be calm and collected. There will be no concentration. When there is no concentration, then the person will not discern this cause and effect. So there will be confusion and doubt. And also there will be wrong view on Jiva Atta, individual soul, and there will be wrong view believing in the Creator or God. So this happens because the person doesn't know the cause and effect through practice. Not knowing cause and effect through practice, there will be confusion, there will be doubt, there will be wrong knowing wrongly that there is Creator or God creating the being. In this way, Mithya Patipatti Avijja, delusion, having wrong knowledge will arise, and thus there will be wrong faith, there will be wrong view. So by knowing the cause and effect, one will overcome the wrong view of causeless belief. Understanding the cause and effect, one will overcome the causeless belief. And by knowing that relative cause giving rise to relative effect, one will have correct knowledge, one will have correct view and correct faith and confidence. So in order to have correct knowledge, correct view, correct faith and confidence, Satipatthana meditation has a guarantee. So Satipatthana meditation can guarantee that one will gain correct knowledge, correct view, and correct faith and confidence. So by practicing Satipatthana meditation, there will not be deviation or perversion, and by practicing Satipatthana meditation, one will be cured from Diktho Mattaka, madness, with wrong view. So 1 hour is up. Tomorrow Sayadaw will explain on how the cause and effect are related.